This is a video that's been going around of a Canadian. They're America's northern neighbors. As the title here says on 7 News Australia, Canadian politician's AI speech blunder goes viral. 7 News. Let's let the Aussies take it away for us.
This next clip of a Canadian politician is going viral, serving as a warning to those hoping to utilise the support of AI. During an Assembly speech, Bill Oliver appeared to accidentally read an AI prompt with chatbot instructions midway through. Let's take a look.
Develop expectations that exceed the powers actually granted to those offices. Here's a more natural flowing version of that section that reads like a legislative speech rather than a series of short points. Madam Speaker, one of my concerns with this legislation is the potential gap.
That's the... Wait.
A good reminder to always proofread your work.
Proofread your work, okay, everybody? Yes, pathetic. Why did I get this video of the lady doing it? Okay, that's fine. There's a bunch of them probably in there.
More natural flowing version of that section.
Just back up a little bit here. I want to hear the moment. So I've never done any AI speech generation stuff. I feel bad when I use the DaVinci's AI noise reduction, and that's just like local processing, and there's stuff is creeping in all over the place. But I've never done I did use some generative stuff in 2021 or 2022. My roommate showed me some shit, and I had some site that I used a little bit. There actually is a little bit of that in the documentary, all very heavily modified in Photoshop and after, all sorts of stuff. But I might even make a video where I go through and point everything out, because I kind of wish I didn't ever do that. This was, like I said, 2021 around then, 2022 maybe. But the ChatGPT, the talking, my mom has an AI boyfriend that is haunting the family. I'm never going to call that piece of shit my stepdad. Okay. Put a ring on it first and I'll think about it. Okay, buddy. She gave it a name. And she's not at all tech savvy. It's very disturbing and weird. She's not like in love. And I say the word boyfriend, she would disagree. She has a good sense of humor about it. So if I will refer to AI boyfriend to her when it comes up, and she kind of laughs about that. So it's not like, but it is odd. And it is just a search engine. The poor lady doesn't know anything about computers whatsoever. Like she's lost doesn't know what copy paste is. Couldn't tell you how to open a file. But somehow she finally got a smartphone in the last few years. And then I think my younger brothers, I think he got her onto it. He's in his 40s, and I don't know how she took to it. And it comes back to her in text form, apparently. It doesn't have what the fuck was that? NVIDIA Studio Driver. I hate Windows sound design. God, I hate it so much. I want to make a tutorial about how to switch it, because you can actually assign. No, I don't want to update my fuck. Why is it installing NVIDIA drivers? Oh, God damn it. I didn't. Okay. All right. If it reboots, I'm going to shit my face. So people are pulled into this stuff, and the temptation is overwhelming. Not just my mom, who... This thing helps her with her TV, like YouTube connection. She's got, internet, and it's impossible to help her when she has problems. She can barely communicate what a text entry, what a field is, like to enter. Okay, type your username, type your password. Those are concepts that take roughly 20 minutes to get through, the 2 things I just told you. So it's really nice to have a stepdad AI that helps. It's one of its many, 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 many wives. or spouses to do troubleshooting, but then she also talks to it about therapy stuff and deep philosophy, and it's just barfing crap out off the internet. Not the same as, she's not a Canadian Parliament person. What do they call them up there? I know British politicians are called MPs, members of Parliament. Canadians, they're not called House. They're not. Yeah, I sound so stupid right now. I apologize. So it's not that. It's not the same thing. But he's not reading his own speech. He's not writing his own words. He's not. He did such a lazy job. And this turns up on Twitter occasionally, where someone will include the kind of thing, the part of the return that you're supposed to delete. The formatted something. I'm just kind of making it up. It doesn't. But it's great that this guy got caught doing this, but will there be any consequences besides some embarrassment? I'm sure he never wanted to be on the Winners and Losers podcast being made fun of by the finest make fun of ever in the entire internet. I'm sure he didn't want that. I'm sure his staff has always wanted to avoid catching the Hank tank, getting dunked by the Hank spunk coming down hard from the sky and the sides like a straw feeding shrimp. So obviously, yes, there are downsides, but no, there won't be any accountability, I imagine. I mean, maybe he's issued some sort of statement at the Legislative Assembly of New Brunswick, but there should be severe consequences. It should be prison. It should be prison. This should be akin to the crime of perjury. That's what I believe. Politicians are charged with this tremendous responsibility. Forgive me for putting on a little bit of my, indoctrination of like the what's the right way to say it? The sort of schoolyard fourth grader good government pamphlet. This is what happens in government type version. I know there's a more eloquent way to describe that, but it's only naive if I would insist that these people are all above board. Obviously, these are systems of power, systems of corruption, the legacies of hierarchy and legacies of patriarchy and racism and slavery and all these other things that in it all flowing through this centuries-long crime of colonialism and exploitation and capitalism, which is just nothing more than a fucking scam to mug people of the hours of their life in order to supply power to sociopaths. Obviously, this is really what's going on. But nevertheless, their job is to negotiate reality. Their job is to represent our interests and our needs in a somewhat realistic, or at least we already allow them the space to lie, to cheat, to trade stocks, to say one thing to a camera and then say something else to another camera and then legislate completely differently. Backroom deals. They're all corrupt. You have to be rich just to become a politician, and then they all get richer and richer as they go on and on. And they're just even the politicians that are among the more respectable bunch, like Bernie and AOC and those types. They're the ones that reject corporate PAC money and stuff like that. At least that's a line that they're not crossing. But they still get famous. They still get to live in high status and high luxury, and like that's a responsibility. So they're already getting this immense benefit, and now they just get to completely fabricate reality in terms of their own interests. So I think this guy belongs in prison. I think anybody. Here's another one. This is RFK Jr., the guy who's in charge of our health, wants to do eugenics on autistic people, trying to spend all kinds of money to make connections with autism. And I saw a thing about circumcision leading to autism because that meant that the baby was taking Tylenol or some shit. I was like, what? I do have a great circumcision story, by the way. I do have it's actually more than you think, by the way. It's not just, I can make it funny, but it's actually came with a lot of sadness. Mine went bad. Yeah, that's right. But not to worry. The tattoos covered up the scars. So everything's good. No, I do have a story about that. Anyway, I'll save that for the I've Had It podcast when I go on there. Here's RFK, July 27, 2026, posting a video, Eat Real Food, 25 seconds.
You look hungry.
AI.
Real food.
We have an AI with, it's kind of a Blade Runner motif with the, what colors are those? Magenta and teal. Kind of has that look behind him, film quality sort of color grade. His head is busted. He's very thin looking, I guess. He looks like a old man, but some reason he's got a big piece of tape on his nose. Probably ran into a box spring like I did.
Fix that.
Real. Now here's the AI shot. Of course, he's got kind of a long trench coat. The foggy rain of an evening urban landscape. Eat real food, it says. With the triangle, with the inverted pyramid, bread on the bottom, fruits, veggies, avocados right in the middle, broccoli, carrots up in the upper right, and meats and stuff on the upper left. I have been eating most lately a little bit healthier. I did have to go get a Del Taco a couple times this week because I just needed the emotional support. But I've been eating broccoli and onions and carrots and sausage, eggs and stuff, trying to slim down. The shirt I haven't been able to wear in a while. I still have too big of a fat gut for it, so it's not totally buttoned all the way. Movie magic. But this is AI. This is AI. Like, he should be in prison. He's an important figure in the government. There should be a very strict line. 2 years. 2 years. You heard me. Yeah, I said it. Oh, it's so cool. It's got that retro wave music style, 80s synth music. Make America healthy again. I can't find out that circumcised babies with their little cut up penises taking a Tylenol to get rid of the cut up. So why did you mutilate my dick, mom and dad, huh, motherfuckers? Suck my dick like the Moyle did. We didn't do it that way. That's a crazy sidebar. There's been outbreaks of herpes amongst infants who receive some of them who die because newborns, they're very, very vulnerable creatures. Their immune systems suck because they haven't been out in the world eating diarrhea lettuce for very long. And they'll get herpes on their thing because the Moyle will, traditionally, they would use their mouth to clean the wound from the ceremony, and it'll transmit STDs to a 1 day old or a 4 day old. It's just horrifying. It's just absolutely, just come on. What the absolute fuck? This straight people shit of doing circumcision. I think it's just madness. Yeah, it's just like, what really? We're talking about mutilating kids in the right wing shows when we're literally mutilating millions and millions of boys every year. I think the rates have gone down. I don't keep up on circumcision trends too much, although other than today's circumcision heavy podcast, obviously. But don't worry, go through the archives. It's not a topic we get into very much. Realfood.gov. Oh. Yeah, bro, it makes me want to like fire up my DeLorean and just like cruise down the highway with the 80s. Oh, look at that shrimp go by. That was great. With the 80s bass popping in my woofer. Is that how they talk in Blade Runner? But he's sitting on a stairs. It's snowy. I'm sure it's, glyphosate snow, some sort of horrible thing. In Wizard of Oz, by the way, they all died from poison from all the makeup they wore or something like that. I don't know if that's true, but I know that there was like issues with how much makeup they were slathering on those people. The greens and the Tin Man, I think, got real fucked up with the silver that they were putting on them. On top of all the alcoholism and severe abuse that they were all living with because of America's hyper, distorted, maladapted culture. But this is insane. Prison time. Go to jail using AI. If you want to make this video, you got to go fucking shoot it. Spend the money on actors and do a real shot. Making AI videos. Trump did it. All these politicians are doing it. I just think it's completely inappropriate to the degree of criminality to have politicians doing anything with AI. Government should be a stark line for that. You could maybe make exceptions if we're talking about process something with the way the AI is folded into office software, perhaps. I'm not even necessarily for that either. I think this stuff, the main reason I'm hyper suspicious of it is because it's a product of capitalists and it is being foisted on us, and it is overwhelmingly a threat to human civilization because of its rollout and its implementation and the obvious intention of the ruling class to not do anything about global warming and instead use it to their advantage to in conjunction with replacing all their labor force from calorie-based labor to electricity-based labor. That's the plan. They want to get rid of people, and they know that they can't just start murdering billions. I believe me, they probably would if we would let them. It would be logistically a pretty challenging project, no doubt. But they can incubate the perfection of their robot and AI systems to do all the labor for them, while letting humanity have mass market die-offs in their various bubbles isn't the right word, various outbursts of climate collapse, natural disaster, food, starvation, plagues, things like that. So there's no incentive to fix any of that stuff other than just managing the way the money is spent to make money on the way as it all happens, and to get us to pay for their data centers, and they want to take computing out of the home and sell you data mediated through AI systems that are baked into it, like as a utility outside the house. And that's just a temporary thing, because the ultimate goal is to eliminate mass markets completely. What do they need mass markets for if all they need is AI robot systems to produce luxury? They only need luxury supply chains. And this stuff is dark and dangerous. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of things. But screw that, man. Screw this AI stuff. These people who are reading AI, like this guy.
Here's a more natural flowing version of that section that reads like a legislative speech rather than a series of short points.
Are you sure you want to save and quit the program? He says out loud. As well as the visual AI stuff. Should be very strict lines on that as far as government goes. Let's get on it, humans, okay? All right. Good stuff. Ensign Crusher, make it so.